ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, this is August 10th, 2020 tier list. It's the Khalid patch, and there's lots of changes in the tier list. First, we're going to start with the S tier, S plus tier, and the biggest change here will be Claude going down to A tier. Claude after the nerfs is not really viable. Like, hyper carry, Claude is very risky, and most times it just ends up in a loss versus the other meta hyper carries, which is assassins at the moment. Um, Claude got like a 35% nerf because his stacks went from like 6% to 1.5%, and that affects him really hard and is really put Claude down on a decline. So we're gonna have to watch out for Claude and see where he falls later on. Next we have Kaja. Kaja after the nerfs to his ultimate, never really played anymore, picked. So he loses his S plus role in support, and I'd say he goes down at least to A or A plus. I might just end up putting Kaja in A plus because I still think he can be used. He's just not that great anymore. Kimmy also goes down. I'll put Kimmy in A. Kimmy's like with Claude now. Kimmy's not really that good because the hyper carry assassins like Hellcurt and Ling just dominate her all the time. So she's going down. Um, Atlas. Okay, S plus tier is not complete, but nobody else is gonna move down. Maybe Valir down to S because of low Yi. Nah, I'm gonna leave him up there. Valir's still pretty good. Selena's still pretty good if you can play her. Yuzong still broken. Uranus still broken. Yeah. Atlas goes up. These are the top 3 tanks in the game. Hylos, Kufa, and Atlas. These are the only tanks that you see in ranked right now. Besides occasional Gatats and Lolitas. Lolita's gonna go up too, by the way. But you know, those are the top three tanks that you'll see. In the S tier, you got Chow, you got Diggy. Diggy going down to A plus. Diggy, as I said, always falls in and out of the meta, so you have to be careful when you pick him. So Diggy's not. It's not really Diggy's meta. He's only really good for like when you're facing an Atlas. Otherwise than that, you're not really picking Diggy over other supports. Granger got a hard nerf and is almost practically useless. I want to put him in B plus, but I've still seen a couple of good Grangers. So most marksmen that were in S and S plus are going down to A. Grok fell off this meta. It's not really Grok meta. He's going to A tier. Grok's not that great right now. He has early game pressure, but after that he kind of just dies. Like he doesn't really do much as a tank right now. So don't pick Grok. I'm gonna leave Carrie in A. I'm gonna put Carrie in A plus. Carrie's never been not meta. She's not the best, but she's not bad. So she's gonna be in A plus. The only marksman that's gonna go up to the S tier would be Yisun Shin. He's the best ADC in the game currently. Also Roger too. Like these are the best marksman hyper carries, even though they're both like hybrids, because he's a marksman assassin and he's a fighter marksman. These are the top 2 ADC hyper carries right now. Bruno can stay in A plus with 1-1. They're still decent in a 1-2-2, and you can keep them there. Who else? Esmeralda. Harith is gonna go up. He became one of the top hyper. I mean, Harith has always been a good pick, but now that I'm seeing him more, I'll bring him up because he's on par with all of these. And I think I'm gonna put Hellcurt in S plus because Hellcurt's broken in my opinion. I honestly hate Hellcurt with a passion. Hellcurt counters Ling. He counters like almost all the mages. He does a lot of damage early game and late game. He does damage throughout the whole game, honestly. And he has double silence, and then he uses petrify. So basically, he can crowd control you for like a long time, and it's really annoying. And you know, if you have somebody that can play him, pick him. But if not, ban him. 100% of the time, ban him. In the A tier, it's looking fine. Gatad's really great. Chang'e is really great still, as I said. Hayabusa is good. Lancelot's snowbally, but if he can get online, he's gonna carry the game. I might bring him up. You know what? I'm gonna put Lance in S tier. Lance is pretty good. If you can get him online, he's gonna carry the game because he can one-shot the marksman or the hyper carry on the other side if he's fed. Let's see. Lilia going down to A. Lilia is not that good. Where's L? Leslie, Lilia. Lilia's gonna be right after Lolita, Masha. Okay, she's right here. Um. Anyway, as I was saying, um, who was I talking about? Oh yeah, Lilia is not that good. Like her skill set is not this good. No matter like she doesn't really bring anything to the team. She can't be hyper carried. Her farm is pretty slow. Like unless she already has her bomb set up already, and her damage is like too inconsistent to be on par with the meta mid laners. And she's not really good at supporting either. So because she doesn't have any CC besides the slows, which is basically a soft CC. Farsa is a dominant support, so I'm gonna put her in S. Farsa went up. I think Farsa's really good right now. I watched her in MPL. She did really great. She's played like all the time, honestly, and she was really strong. And I'm seeing her in rank more now too. So I'm gonna put Farsa in the S tier for supporting. Popo too. No, I'm gonna keep Popo in A plus because you don't see him in normal ranked. But in MPL level, he's like S plus and S. But in normal ranked, I'm gonna keep him in A plus as a support or even maybe a marksman. But in marksman tier, he'll probably be lower, like B plus or A. Not really good at being a marksman, but better at being a support. The new hero, the new hero Khalid. I'm gonna put him in A plus. He's already there, as you see. Um, he has decent damage if he can continuously hit his first skill. And the real thing that's annoying about him is his second skill, like in laning phase, is that it's hard to like get him to recall because he can just basically his second skill is basically like the fountain. Like he just heals back full health, and you can't really lose lane with him unless you get ganked by like 5 people. But as I'm like, Khalid's really good at defending lanes. He's decent in team fights if he can get the jump on him and stun on the marksman. He can really disrupt the backline because of his ultimate. And then he can just heal and just take all that damage while his team, cleans up. He's a really good fighter. Not broken by any means, but definitely strong. Angela is gonna move up to A plus. Angela has been played a lot, especially with the fighters and the assassins. Angela has always been good on fighters. Like Angela plus any fighter is almost like a easy 1v5 scenario. She pairs best with people like Uranus, Yuzong, Harith, Esmeralda, you name it. Any of the top fighters, like even Leo. Angela Leo used to be a combo too. Well, it still is, but it used to be the meta combo. Angela's really good with any tanky person that can kill. Um, let's see who else goes up. Uh, I think A tier is gonna stay where it's at. All the people in there, they're decent. Uh, yeah. B tier, we got Balman. Balman going to A plus. Balman is a really good counter to Uranus. If you see a Uranus, pick Balman. I don't know why or how, but I just know Balman counters him. I think it's because the passive of Uranus doesn't out damage Balman's second skill, which is up like every 3 seconds. So if you ever see that, pick Balman. He's a really good hero right now. I'm actually surprised to say that. Let's see. I think Freya can go up to A. I've seen lots of 1-3-1 Freyas, and she dominates. Like, you just build Berserker's Fury first, and you're critting for like 2K, like at 8 minutes in the game. Freya's really good. Let's see. I think Martis. Yeah, I like Martis. I ain't gonna lie. It might just be really opinionated, but I think Martis is really good right now. Plus with the buffs he's getting. He's going to be even more meta because he's going to constantly have that 120 attack speed, and he has really high early game pressure. So if you try to fight him early game, you're going to die. And he's a real lane bully, but not on the level of people like Uranus and Yuzong and Xborg and all them. But he can still compete at the top with them if he plays correctly. So that's why I'm moving up Martis to A. Let's see. A big jump would be a Cyclops all the way to A plus. Cyclops buffs are insane. Like Cyclops does your whole health with like 2 of his balls from his second skill. And if you're a squishy, it's basically GG when you're facing a Cyclops. Cyclops buffs are crazy. They also gave him back his spell vamp. Because it used to be 40% of his spell vamp that he currently has. Now it's back to 100%. So he basically just full heals off his abilities now, and it's almost impossible to kill him, unless you lock him down. lock him down with like chain CC. But otherwise than that, Cyclops made the biggest jump in this current meta, and he's still kind of slept on. I hope he stays that way. I don't like fighting Cyclops. I always did. Hates fighting Cyclops. So Cyclops, one of the meta mages you should be playing right now though. Let's see who else. I don't think anybody else. Okay, Dyroth. He, it's hard to say. I mean, he's good. I've seen him. He was playing in the MPL and he actually won the game. So honestly, I think that deserves to move him up to the B plus tier. I want to put him in A, but I'm not sure he's on the level of the fighters that's in there. Yeah, I'm gonna move him up to B plus. He's better, but he's not like, you know, as on par with these heroes. Oh, I forgot Lolita was moving up too to A plus. Lolita's one of the other tanks that you see all the time too. If you don't see Hylos, Atlas, or Kufra. Trying to see if any more heroes deserve to be moved up or not. Alpha, I think Alpha deserves to go to B plus too. No, I don't know. The buffs up to Alpha are decent, but you still never see him played. And I haven't really played him like that. He does a lot of more. He does lots of more damage now, but I don't think that warrants him being a good pick. So I'm gonna leave him in B plus. No, not B plus, in B. Yeah, he's gonna stay in B. So yeah. I don't think any more heroes got changed this patch. Veil, I'm gonna move Veil up to A. Veil is a decent support. He's actually a good support. He does a lot of damage. He has a lot of crowd control. After they buffed his second skill to last longer, it's like you're in the air forever. And he gets a lot of movement speed once he gets assists and kills and all that. And he just ends up being, one of the stronger supports if you can play him. Because most people don't land none of his skills, so he ends up being useless. But if you can play Veil correctly, I'd suggest picking him. Oh, I forgot about Hilda too. Hilda, I've been watching people play Hilda, and she's actually really good. So she's gonna move up to the A tier, possibly A plus, depending on how time goes and like next balancing changes. But Hilda currently is a pick I wouldn't mind to see. Decent hero. Everybody else hasn't been changed or anything, so they're gonna remain where they are. I'm trying to just look around and see if anybody's left. Let's see. I don't think so. So that's the current tier list, in my opinion. If you have any like feedback or any like people that you think should be moved, like up or down, let me know. Other than that, that is the current tier list, and thank you for watching.